In the next 10,000 years, the star which Earthlings have named WHG 64 will explode as a supernova. This planet was inhabited by creatures who were very similar to those in the book Flatland, or Flat Stanley. However, on this planet, the creatures were all rectangles of various dimensions. To locate a planet capable of sustaining life for their people, a spaceship from the planet orbiting WHG 64 traveled 160,000 light years to reach our solar system. One alien was left behind on each of our solar system's 8 planets, whatever, and 2 of our dwarf planets, Ceres and Pluto. The alien who was left behind on Earth noticed rectangular-shaped objects mounted on poles along the roads. One stated free concert in the park Saturday. Another stated garage sale. In order to be inconspicuous, she took on the shape of a similar rectangle 18 units wide by 24 units long. At first, this planet seemed perfect, but exposure to Earth's atmosphere caused something very strange to happen. After exactly 1 hour, the alien split in half. Now there were 2 aliens, each one half as big as the original alien. After another hour, each of those 2 aliens split in half. Now there were 4 smaller aliens. After each hour, each alien split in half again. We're going to model what happened to the number of aliens. Okay? This right here is not an alien. It is a piece of paper. Okay? First of all, I don't have any desire to cut aliens in half. I think that would be disgusting. And second of all, I would just rather cut paper. Okay? So let's model this together. Okay? So look at your table at the bottom. You guys are going to copy it again while I'm modeling this cutting for you of a piece of paper, not an alien. Okay? So first thing, it says time since landing is 0 hours, right? The number of aliens, 1. And how many? What's the square unit of each alien? 432. Where in the world did they get 432? So 18 by 24, right? Okay. So after 1 hour, again, not a real alien. Now how many aliens are there? 2. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Is this still 18? Yes? What's this, though? It's 12. How do you know it's 12? Because I cut it in half, right? Not the alien, the paper. Okay? Then what happened? Another hour went by, right? And what happened now? Now there's 4. So after how many hours there's 4? 2. Are you filling this in on the table as we go? Okay, well, we skipped something, so let's go back and make sure our tables are the same. So after 1 hour, how many aliens were there? 2. And what were their dimensions? 216. And where did you get 216? So that was 18 by 12. That's how you got 216. Multiplying, because that's how we get area, right? Okay. So, then what happened? Another hour. Oh, sorry. Before we do that, we had another hour, right? We had 2. So then we had this one. Is this 18 anymore? What is it? 9. So how many aliens are there? So after 2 hours, there's 4 aliens. And what is 9 times 12? 108. Everybody okay? Then what happened? Another hour. Okay, how many aliens are there? 8 aliens. Is this still 9? Yes, but is this still 12? No, what is it? 6. So 9 by 6 is what area? 54. Everybody okay so far? Okay. Then what happened? Another hour. Yes? Is this still 6? Yes? Is this still 9? What is it? 4.5? So what is 4.5 times 6? 27. And how many aliens are there? 16. Okay. This is getting harder. Ugh. I'm just glad it's not a real alien. I just think that would be disgusting. I mean, you guys know me. I can't even stab a straw into a Capri Sun. I don't know how I would stab an alien. Unless they were like attacking Jennifer or something, then I think I could do it. Yeah. Okay. How many aliens do I have? 32? Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So that's 32. So I've got 32 aliens. And is this still 4.5? But is this 6? What is it? So what is 4.5 times 3? 13.5. Are you guys okay if I don't cut it in half again? Do you see enough patterns yet that we can figure it out? What do you think this should be? 64? Okay. So, do you see a pattern here also? What do you think this should be? 6.75. Okay. Now notice I didn't ask for the pattern, did I? I just asked if you saw a pattern. Yeah? So now let's talk about the patterns. Excuse me, let me move the piece of paper. Zoom. Nope. In. Also, did you notice that we totally left one column blank so far? Okay. You okay with that? Okay, because we'll fill it in a minute, right? Okay. So, do you see a pattern in this column? What is it? Up by 1 every time? Okay. Do you see a pattern in this column? It doubles. Okay. Do you see a pattern in this column? And half, right? Every time? Okay. So let's talk about number of aliens in exponential form. This should be an S there. Would you fix that? Do you think it has, what do you think it has something to do with? How does this number change? And then how does this number change? Do you think maybe it has something to do with the number 2? Possibly, right? Well, number of aliens in exponential form. So does it even have to do with the area? No. Okay, but if we're multiplying by 2 every time, do you think that's something we can write in exponential form? Okay. So this one's the easiest to see, because that's just 2 to the first, right? Can you tell me any of the other ones? What's this one? 2 to the second? What about this one? 2 to the third? 2 to the fourth? Is 2 to the fifth actually 32? Yeah, so 2 to the sixth? So what about the one we skipped? Well, even if you don't know it, can you follow the pattern? Yeah, 2 to the 0, right? And then you're like, oh yeah, because anything to the 0 power is 1. We've talked about that, haven't we? Okay? So what about if we had n times since we landed? N hours since we landed. What would that look like for number of aliens in exponential form? To the n. You see that pattern, yes? A little bit similar to what we did last time we met? Yes? Okay. After how many hours will the alien population be 512? Explain how you determined your answer. How many different ways is there to do this problem? About 1 billion. Okay, maybe not exactly 1 billion, but at least 3. Right? At least 3 that I know of. Thank you. Okay? So there's multiple answers here. Now, after how many hours, there's only one answer to that, right? But how you got it, there's multiple answers for that. So, see if you can figure out a way to tell me how many hours it's been since the alien population was 512. Anybody got it? Good job for those of you getting out your calculators. Good job for those of you thinking with your brain. Once you have it, just raise your hand real quick. Don't shout it out, but just raise your hand so I know you have an answer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You can put them down now. Once we make eye contact and I say thank you, you can put them down. Thank you. Okay, good. Thank you. Got it. I need at least 5 more thank yous. That'll be a little over half. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. That's not everybody, but that's over half of you. Okay. So somebody tell me how many hours, in how many hours will the population be 512? What you got? You said 9 hours? 9 hours. Anybody else agree with her? Besides me? Okay, good. Okay. Now, how did you determine your answer? Tell me how you got your answer. So you went back to the table and you said 2 to the 7th would be 128. 2 to the 8th would be 256. 2 to the 9th would be 512. Oops. Does that get to the answer? So what are you going to write down for how you determine your answer? You extended the table. I'm okay with that. Isn't that how you did it? Yeah, for sure. Guys, does there have to be a perfect mathematical way to do every single problem? Absolutely not. Sometimes we do the problem how it makes sense to us. Yeah? Is that okay? Heck yeah. Anybody get it any other way? What'd you do?
I put it in the calculator.
So you use the calculator. Specifically the calculator table, right? What'd you do?
I started at 2 to the 20th, and then I went down to the 10th, and then I just threw them.
So you guessed? Okay. But educated, right? Educated? Whoa. I can't spell educated. That's not good. Educated. A-D-U-C-H. Now I'm paranoid that that's still spelled wrong. Okay, we're going to pretend like it's spelled right. Okay? Any questions? How large will the alien population be after 12 hours? How could we figure that out? Oh, we could, right? We could say 2 to the 12th. What is 2 to the 12th? 4,096. Would you put a label on this for me so it makes sense as an answer? 4,096 aliens. What about after 24 hours? 2 to the 24th? Uh-oh. Is that what you got? Aliens? Uh-oh. Is the alien population growing at a constant rate? Is it growing at a constant rate? No, it's not, is it, Nicolai? What does a constant rate imply? It means that we're adding the same thing every time, right? Is that what we're doing? What are we doing? We're multiplying. By the same thing. The same thing. Every time. Not adding. So let's make a plot. Let's make a graph. Hours is on the x-axis. Number of aliens is on the y-axis. So which two columns are we thinking about? The first number of aliens in hours. So the first two, right? We're talking about the first two. So after 0 hours, we have 1 alien. After 2 hours, after 1 hour, we have 2 aliens. After 2 hours, we have 4 aliens. After 3 hours, we have 8 aliens. After 4 hours, we have 16 aliens. Now 5 hours is 32 aliens. Whoa. 6 hours is 64 aliens. What does that look like? It looks like a curve, so I'll write that down. Specifically, it looks like an exponential curve, but more specifically, exponential growth. Right? Should the points on the graph be connected with a smooth curve? Can we have partial hours? In this problem, no. Right? Can we have partial hours? Yes. What are they called? Minutes and seconds, right? But in this problem, what's happening? Every hour on the hour, the alien splits in half. So even if we could have partial hours, can we have partial aliens? So can we connect them? No, we cannot. We cannot connect them. The points. If not, why should they remain unconnected? You can't have partial aliens. I mean, that I know of. Provide at least one reason to explain your answer. What about this one? Is that a good reason? They only split on the hour. Any questions so far? Okay. Number 6. On the grid, plot the size or area of each alien in square units with respect to time. So if I look back at my table, hours is my X, area is my Y. So which two columns are we looking at now? 1 and 4, right? First and the last, right? So after 0 hours, we have 432. So maybe right there. After 1 hour, we have 216. After 2 hours, 108. Now, guys, is this right here where I put my dot exactly 108? But it's close, right? It's close. God bless you. After 3 hours, we have 54. After 4 hours, we have 27. 25 would be halfway, so I put it a little bit above half. At 5, we have 13.5. 25 is half, and it's a little bit more than half of that, right? And 6 hours is 6.75. So pretty close. Yes? What does this look like? Again, it's a curve, but more specifically, good. EXPONEN, exponential decay. Okay, so far? Describe what's happening to the size of an alien. So it gets smaller by how much? Half? How often? Every hour. Okay. The graph of the alien's size with respect to time is exponential decay. Ugh, we already knew that. We already said it. We already wrote it down. Based on the table and the second graph, create a definition for exponential decay. So we could put downward trend. I'm okay with that. What did you say, Jennifer? Okay, so it's down. We're going down. So how about numbers? Decrease by a certain amount. But what? Okay. Will the aliens disappear? So that's fair, right? So depending on your justification, I would take either answer, yes or no, depending on your justification, right? You guys said no right away. Why'd you say no right away? There's always going to be some alien, right? Why did you say yes? Too small to see, right? So that's kind of like it disappeared, right? So answer it however you want. I'm not going to tell you which one's right or what's wrong because neither one of them are right or wrong, correct? Depending on your justification. This is my answer, in case you're curious. I said no they will always divide in half. So they're never going to disappear because they always divide in half. So they'll never reach 0, but after a while they're going to be too small to see. You okay with that? What's the sum of the areas of all the aliens at any point in time? How do you know that? It's basically still the same, right? Even though this one has an area of 216, however many are there? Even though this has an area of 108, how many are there? 54 and 8? 27 and 16? If you multiply those out, what do you get? 432. Okay? 11 is your homework. Notice this word right here. Okay? 11 is your homework. Do you have any questions about this? So, just to make it clear, I know I said in the beginning we were going to continue our day with more real-world examples. There's not aliens that I know of, but I don't know of all the stuff. Is that fair?